Hey YouTube, how's it going? Melvin back here again with another Alchemy Stars video, and for this one I'll be making my forest tier list. Now we know that Hero is going to be coming out within a week, and also we all know that Hero is going to be a forest character, so I decided to create a tier list for all the other forest characters in the game. That way you guys can decide, which characters you should be building now in preparation for when Hero is going to be coming. If you want to know about Hero's kit, I can't really talk about it here because it looks like Alchemy Stars doesn't want us content creators to be spreading her kit back in the closed beta. It seems like they want full control on when her kit is going to be released, which makes sense from a marketing standpoint. And also it might have to do with the fact that they might be changing her kit. So if you want to know her kit, I'm sorry, I really don't want this video to be taken down. But there is nothing stopping me from talking about how some of these characters in the list are going to work well with Hero. So if one of these characters has some synergy with Hero's kit, there's nothing stopping me from saying that. And with that out of the way, let's get started. The first one is going to be Dove. Now Dove is going to be a B tier for me, and to be honest, I don't think I'm ever putting any 3-star characters on S and A tier. So the fact that she's in B tier is the highest tier she could possibly get, which means her kit is pretty good. She has a 2-turn teleport on her active skill, which is really nice. Sometimes you just need to get away, sometimes you just need to get to a specific tile, that way you can do an Aurora time. Her teleport is not super long range though, it is a mid-range teleport, but having it 2-turn is pretty dang good. I do put a lot of value in teleports, and she is a budget version of Midgard. Midgard is an absolute beast of a unit, but if you don't have Midgard, do look at Dove if you need a 2-turn teleport. Up next is going to be Jomu. Jomu is going to belong in D tier. Any 3-star that only does damage and has 0 utility, that's going to be an instant D tier. If you're going to be a 3-star, you're going to be missing a lot of stats, and so if you have nothing but just damage, you're probably not going to be doing enough. Athena's another really good 3-star. I'm going to put her here in B tier. She's a decent tile converter, but again, if you got the other tile converters on green, you don't need to use Athena, but her kit is pretty unique. She's able to switch 2 tiles. You're probably going to be switching a green plus something else. That way you put a green on a specific tile, but like I said, if you have other converters though, she's probably going to get overpowered by those characters. So the next one is going to be Leia. Now Leia is also a sort of teleporter, but she's actually going to belong in D tier just because her cooldown is also a 2-turn cooldown, but instead of you choosing where to go, you just go back to where you came from. So I don't really see any reason to use her. If you need a 2-turn teleporter and you don't have Midgard, might as well just use Dove, and that's why Leia is going to be here in D tier. So next up is Clover. Now I did say that if you only have damage on your kit as a 3-star, you belong in B tier, but I'm actually going to be putting Clover here in C tier, and that reason is going to be because she has poison in her kit. Poison is just absolutely OP. Poison ignores the boss's defense, and it also scales off the boss's health, so it doesn't matter that Clover cannot get Ascension 3, it doesn't matter that Clover has really low attack stats. Because of poison, I'm going to be putting her in C tier. So onto the 4-stars. The first one is going to be Silva. Silva is another 2-turn teleporter, but I'm going to be putting him in C tier for a couple of reasons. One is that his teleport is kind of hard to use. He teleports all the way to the edges of the map, which means sometimes it doesn't really work because that's not where you want to go. So the reason why he's C tier is that I want to put him below Dove just because Dove is just a better teleporter. They're both 2-turn teleporters, but Dove just has more control on where you want to go. Now the reason why he's not in D tier though, because I do think his equipment is pretty good. It is extremely niche, and that's why he's here in C tier. If you have only one enemy on the field, all your forests or Royan's active skill are going to ignore 30% of the boss's defense, and that is going to be pretty good damage, but that's very niche situations. That's kind of why in C tier, extremely niche tier, which means he's pretty good. It's just there's not many situations where he's absolutely good. Up next we got Wendy, another pseudo teleporter. I'm gonna put her in C tier. Again, a couple of reasons. It's again Dove. Because Dove is in B tier, I just want to emphasize that all these teleporters and all these pseudo teleporters just go down the list because I'd rather use Dove. Now the reason why Wendy's not that good is because one, she's not actually a teleporter. Her kit is more of a pseudo teleport. You can go back to where you came from. There's this feather mechanic where with her active skill you can drop a feather and then you can click on the feather to go back to where you were, and that's why it's not very good because you can't really go choose where you want to go. And also her active skill is on a 3-turn cooldown. Meanwhile, you got Dove over here with a 2-turn cooldown, which is just so much better, and she does do pretty good damage with her equipment. But if you're looking for a damage dealer, might as well just pick someone else, and if you're looking for a teleporter, might as well just use Dove. Up next we got Raya. She's going to be A tier because she is the only healer in Forest. The reason why she's not an S tier because not every single fight in Spire need a healer. You don't need a healer in every single fight, but there are some fights where you absolutely need a healer. So because she's the only healer, I'm gonna put her here in A tier. Pretty straightforward. So we got Lester. Lester is going to be B tier because he is a budget version of OD. He has some poison in his kit, which is pretty good, and like I said, poison is pretty OP. Now you can use Lester and OD in the same team comp because Lester does have some poison synergy, but the thing is I don't really see the point, just because OD by herself can kill bosses really well, that I don't see the point of having Lester in the team. Also, there is a limit cap to poison. You can only have 5 stacks, so having too many poison damage dealers can be a bit of a problem, and that's why I'm putting him in B tier, because 1, I don't think you should be putting Lester and OD in the same tier, and 2, he's just not better than OD. Alright, for Jola, man, I think I'm just gonna put him in D tier for now. I don't really understand his kit and how to make it work with a team composition. Now he does have some synergy with Enhanced Tile, and Hero, the upcoming character Hero, does have some enhanced tile synergy. She does really well if you have a lot of enhanced tile on the board, so maybe Jola might go up if I could figure out a team comp with him and Hero. But for now, I just don't understand this character and I don't think he's that good, but I'm gonna keep it in D tier. But I want to put an asterisk in his character just in case I could figure out a team comp where I can make him shine. Alright, we got Odie. Odie is a beast of a character, dude. She is the queen of poisons, and I've mentioned this a couple times in the video, that poison is absolutely OP. Now, I'm putting her in A tier. Everything in her kit has poisons, especially her basic attacks. Her basic attacks have a 70% chance to apply poisons, and those basic attacks can hit diagonally, so it's really easy for her to keep 5 stacks of poisons on the bosses every single turn. She also has slow on her active skill, which is a bit underrated, I think. The fact that none of the bosses on Spire are immune to slow, meaning you can apply slow to anyone. This allows you to dodge a lot of skills, keeping you alive. Also, you can move around a lot more. And I just want to quickly mention though that there are a lot of poison synergy in Forest, but most of this poison synergy just allows those characters to deal more damage, and I feel like that's a bit of an overkill. I don't really like pairing the poison synergy characters with OD because OD can kill the bosses just by herself. She does not need help in terms of damage. What she needs are tile converters. So I don't really like bringing Lester with OD or any other poison units just because OD's just that OP. She can do all the damage just by herself. So next one, we got Robin, the free-to-play character for those of you who pre-registered. I'm just going to put him in C tier, just because 1, I don't have this character, and 2, I don't really see this character being played. He's sort of like Dana, where if an enemy is standing on a green tile, you're going to be dealing 5% increased damage to that monster, but I don't think that's good enough. He does have some enhanced tile mechanics when you have his first breakthrough, so maybe that could work well with Hero, but for now I just don't have enough information, so I'm just gonna keep him here in C tier. Okay, this one might surprise a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure some people are going to be disagreeing. I'm going to be putting Pack on S tier. Now the reason is that for Forest, there just isn't that many characters, and so there isn't many converters in Forest, and converters are just really important in this game. Now I do put a lot of value on these low cooldown converters more than the cross shape one or any of the converters that have pretty long cooldowns. I do prefer the short cooldown ones, especially with Pack. You could pair her with Kinnis. They work really well together. Maybe when Hero comes around, we do have some conversion in Hero's kit. Maybe I'll put Pack down a little bit, but for now, we're just lacking a lot of conversion heroes in Forest, so I'm going to be keeping Pack here in S tier. For Cuscuda, I'm just going to put her in B tier. I'm going to be honest here, I don't have that much experience with Cuscuda. I do know some people vouch for Cuscuda. She has real high attack, so she is a viable DPS in your roster. But I just feel like in terms of damage, green is really good. You got Odie, who's a really good poison damage dealer, and this next hero I'm going to be talking about also does pretty good damage. But if you guys know more about Cuscuda, let me know if she belongs in A tier. But to be honest, looking at her kit, I think she belongs in B tier. Next up is Raya. Okay, I really thought Raya was garbage. Reading her kit from the first day, it looked like absolute nonsense, but the more you understand the game and the more you know how to play her, she's actually a really good damage dealer. She does so much damage on the turn that her active skill is up. Also, with her active skill, if you kill an enemy, I'm not sure how this works 100% because I don't have her in A3, but if you kill an enemy, apparently you can extend the duration of her active skill. Not 100% sure, but when her active skill is up, she does so much damage, especially on bosses with a large hitbox. Being able to pierce 100% damage, you're doubling down on your damage. She does crazy damage, man. If you see her pop off, if you see her work, you're going to be surprised how good she is as a DPS. And Sakare, I'm actually going to put her in A tier. Like I did mention that there are not many converters in green, but I don't really like the cross-shape converters. It is better than other converters, but it is way too long of a cooldown. But if you do have your Sakare at max breakthrough, she is an absolute beast converter. Instant S tier for me, but this is a more generalized tier list, so I'm going to be putting her here because I'm going to be assuming that you don't have her in max breakthrough. Onto Louis, the last 5-star on the list. I'm going to be putting her in A tier. She is a really good unit. All these units that can double down on your chain combos for 1 turns are really good. It's a very specific playstyle you could do in the game, and that's why she's here in A tier. She's not an S unit because she's not a must build in every single team compositions. There are other team comps in Forest that does not involve Louis and can work really well, but if you want to build your entire team around Louis, it's gonna be really good. So TLDR, really good unit, but not mandatory. So onto Kinnis, the first 6-star on the list. This one's pretty obvious, gonna put her in S tier. Like I mentioned, I put a lot of value on these 2-turn cooldown converters. I just prefer their conversion style than any other unit in the game. If you have Kinnis, you probably want to be using Kinnis 100%. And also the fact that pack exists means Kinnis has a higher value. They both have the same cooldown. They both are preemptive, meaning you could use their skills in sync all the time, and they work really well together. So Kinnis, probably the converter that you want to be playing 100%. Okay, for Gabriel, for now, I'm going to be putting her in A tier, but this is with a ginormous asterisk. The reason why she's only A tier right now is that her tile conversion is a bit RNG, it's a little bit unreliable, and it's also in a 4-turn cooldown, which is way too long IMO. Like I said, I put a lot of value on both Kinnis and Pack. This is why they're both in S tier. And if you're using Kinnis and Pack, sometimes you just do not have enough team slots for Gabriel. Like, you're probably going to need a healer, you're going to DPS, so you just don't have a slot for Gabriel, unfortunately. Now, the giant asterisk comes from the fact that Gabriel is probably going to be the best hero to synergize with Hero, the character Hero. When Hero comes out, and if she's going to be OP, and if she keeps her enhanced tile synergy, Gabriel is probably the best hero when it comes to making enhanced tile. Gabriel's gonna go up to S tier, but like I said, for now, she's too RNG, man, and too long of a cooldown that she belongs in A tier for now. Migard, instant S tier. This one's really straightforward. She is one of the Elite Four. The Elite Four are Sharona, Michael, Charon, and Migard. All these characters have really high attack, and then their equipment boosts their damage even further, so they're really good DPS. And on top of that, their active skill has some form of utility. For Migard, it is a 2-turn teleport. Such a stupidly strong unit. Also note that she has the highest attack in the game, actually. Pretty crazy unit, man. If you have Migard, don't be like me, where I kept my Migard level 1 for a whole week like an idiot. Go build your Migard. She is a stupid strong unit. And we have the legendary Aurorian Mythos, instant S tier. Legendary heroes belong in S tier. No brain required there. So next up, we have the newest character on the list, which is going to be Dawn. I'm just going to put her in B tier. I really want to put her lower because I really don't think this character is that good, but there isn't that many snipers in this list, so that's kind of why she gets bumped up. There are some fights where it's nice to have a sniper, but I feel like snipers aren't really that mandatory. Yeah, it's convenient when, you know, there's a lot of small mobs all over the board, so you can AoE them with a sniper, but I just don't think you really need a sniper in any of those fights. You can just like spam converters, that way you could run around and do basic attacks, but you know, she's the only sniper here, so I'll put her in B tier just because of that. And that is going to be it for my tier list, guys. Hope you all agree with me, because if you don't agree, my feelings are going to be hurt. I'm just kidding. If you guys have an opinion, let me know. If something wants to go up, something wants to go down, if you have an opinion on a specific character, let me know in the comments below. Things are absolutely going to change though when Hero comes. Some of the converters are going to be going down because Hero might have some conversion on her kit, and also any character that has synergy with Hero are all gonna bumped up because Hero might be absolutely OP of a character. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.